Breaking news. Donald Trump trade war sparks Eurozone panic with major slump feared. The Eurozone economy is bracing itself for a sharp slowdown in growth as manufacturers struggle to deal with Donald Trump's threat of a global trade war. The Purchasing Managers Index, PMI, rating fell to 54.3 in July from 54.9 in June and, although it remains above the crucial level of 50 that marks an expansion in activity, it is the latest indication that growth in the Eurozone is now past its peak. The survey showed conditions could further deteriorate in the coming months, with companies saying new orders are falling to their slowest levels in 2 years. Others have signaled they are beginning to cut spending as a result of trade concerns and more expensive raw materials. The data is viewed by the European Central Bank, ECB, as a strong indicator of potential growth. Will likely be a hot topic of discussion at its Governing Council's regular meeting on Thursday. Chris Williamson, chief business economist at IHS Markit, the data firm that produces the PMIs, said, "There is growing unease and uncertainty among European businesses about the political and economic outlook, highlighting increased risk aversion. Manufacturers are not carrying as much unnecessary stock and investment decisions are also being scrutinized a lot more closely. At the same time, raw materials, especially steel, are becoming more expensive. If you forget about the bounce back in June, which was down to there being so many public holidays in May, then the index clearly points to an export-led slowdown." Last month, the ECB announced it was having the number of new bonds bought each month under a £2.5 trillion quantitative easing program, from £30 billion to £15 billion, before phasing them out completely later this year. European businesses have become concerned around mounting trade war tensions led by the US and directed primarily towards the European Union and China. Donald Trump is meeting Jean-Claude Juncker at the White House later on Wednesday as the US and EU attempt to compromise over the imposition of tariffs on goods. Both sides have been involved in a tit-for-tat war of words for the past 2 months, with the EU now threatening to impose tariffs of $20 billion worth of U.S. goods if it carries through with threats on new levies and car imports. The U.S. has already implemented 20% tariffs on EU steel and aluminium, with Mr. Trump threatening to expand those measures to European cars.